Form out of formlessness, order out of chaos, and the struggle to sustain that order are the heart of the ancient Egyptian stories of creation. However, it's complicated. Let's take a look. Who created the universe and how might depend on where and when you were in ancient Egypt. The myths do, however, all share some common threads. Welcome to Teller's Compendium. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Myths aren't usually meant to be taken literally. Instead, they help us to understand our world by examining complex themes and creating inner reflection. These themes often include what is right and what is wrong, what is our role or purpose, how should we live, and what happens when we die. These are truly at the core of the human experience and govern how we interact with our world and each other. Due to our wonderful diversity, the conversation and reality of these ideas change, not only from place to place, but also from time to time. The ancient Egyptians were no different, although their religion and mythology survived for nearly 6,000 years, longer than any other in human history. The reasons for these changes may vary, but include not only the tide of social values, but also the political landscape as various groups or pharaohs tried to put themselves at the forefront of divine importance. Still, despite change, some elements seem to be common among most Egyptian mythology. One of these elements is the idea of the relationship between chaos and order. The idea of order and justice, which the Egyptians called Ma'at, was central to their view of the universe and their daily life. It is interesting that so many mythologies have this idea that the universe started in chaos, or nothingness, to which order was then brought, leading to the creation of the world, the gods, and humankind. Why do so many have this idea, and where did it come from? After all, the Big Bang theory of the universe is a 20th century idea, derived from scientific observation. How is it that early people, 6,000 or 7,000 years ago, already knew this through their mythologies? Did they have great knowledge that has been lost to us today? Were they given this knowledge by visitors from another world? Were their gods real? Now these are questions for other stories, but something to keep in mind as we explore the Egyptian creation mythology. This story comes from an ancient scroll, known as the Bremner-Rhind papyrus, currently at the British Museum in London. This scroll contains a book called The Overthrowing of Apep, the Enemy of Ra, which describes the creation of the universe from the perspective of its creator. For ancient Egyptians, the time before time, our primordial beginnings, start in a great sea of chaos, which they called the Nu. This sea of chaos was a formless void of unutilized inertia with unlimited potentiality. Within this sea was Nebertcher, which means the limitless one. Nebertcher became aware and desired to create the world and experience it. He spoke his name, Atum, and created his form out of the chaos. Atum rose out of the sea, the Nu, and realized he was alone. There was no land to stand upon, or others to experience. Atum spoke another word, the name of the firmament, and the waters of the Nu receded, revealing a great mound for him to stand upon. Atum dreamed of his children, then spoke their names, Shu and Tefnut, creating them into existence. Shu was the dryness of air, and Tefnut was moisture. Shu and Tefnut desired to explore the expanse of the new, and so they left Atum to wander. Much time had passed, and Atum greatly missed his children and worried over them. He sent his eye to search for them in the chaos. The eye eventually found Shu and Tefnut and brought them back to their father. Atum was overjoyed and wept at the sight of his children's return. From his tears were born people and all the creatures of the world. While the eye was gone, searching for Shu and Tefnut, another eye had grown in its place. When it returned, it became distraught that it had been replaced, but Atum loved his eye and placed it in his forehead to watch over the world, and it became the sun, the god Ra. The other eye became the moon. Shu and Tefnut had 2 children, Geb the earth, and Nut the sky. Geb and Nut were in a constant embrace, and so their father, Shu, the air, would separate them during the day so that people and the animals could live there. Next, Geb and Nut had 4 children, Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nephthys. These were the gods who would live among men on earth, with Ra ruling over them all. He was the first pharaoh. The god's role was to maintain Ma'at, or order and justice, in the face of chaos, represented by the great serpent Apep, also known as Apophis by the Greeks. Apep was the chaos that was left behind when Atum rose from the new in primordial time. Ra would travel across the sky every day in his golden boat until he reached the underworld, where he would do battle with Apep. This was the constant struggle in the Egyptian mythology, to keep order and prevent chaos from reclaiming the world and returning everything to the waters of the new, including the gods and Atum-Ra itself. Would you like to hear more stories of ancient Egypt? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please help us make more by giving it a like. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be alerted when we upload new stories. Also, check out this video on the Greek creation story, or this one about the Old Norse creation story. Thanks for watching.